A very good day to you, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another episode of the Candy Talk here on Herman Manyora's YouTube channel. Remember, this is Kenya's most comprehensive political and public governance analysis show. My good name is Evans Okinyi, and I'm here with my resident guest, Wakili Willis Evans Otieno. Wakili, how are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
These people don't know that you're also the deputy party leader of Sabina party.
And the deputy president designate of the Republic of Kenya.
The deputy president-elect.
Designate.
I want us to look at the political happenings in the country, and let's go a bit political. I know for a long time we've been on the legal front, but here we are looking at this now, owing to the fact that you're also a politician. Tell me, you people are serious that you are taking this country by storm in 2027?
You know, look at the state of the nation today. And if you want to engage in politics, you ask yourself, what's the question of the next election?
Okay.
The question of the next election is the economy. As James Carville puts it, it's the economy, stupid. And look at all the players on the scene. Who seems to understand the problem as the economy, and who has identified that problem and solutions to that problem? I can put Jimmy Wanjigi, I can put William Ruto, Kalonzo Musyoka, Rigathi Gachagua, and Raila Odinga if he doesn't get to AU. And you ask all five of them to discuss the problem of the economy and proffer solutions. I don't think any of this will beat Wanjigi in terms of understanding of the economy and the proffered solution to the economic problem of the people of Kenya. I don't think where Kenyans are today, their problem is about tribe or about governance. It's the economy. People don't have money in their pockets. Young people don't have jobs. And yet they've gone to school and acquired all the qualifications. Artisans, those who acquired vocational training, don't have jobs. Those who are in the job market, who qualified, they are not getting fair wages for their skill sets. You look at our governance structure, look at the health sector is in shambles. Look at how the Ruto is managing the debt situation in this country, because the large part of our economic problem is caused by odious debt, illegal debts which William Ruto and Uhuru Kenyatta took, and William Ruto is still taking, that is causing a squeeze on our economy. It is, every day, it is strangling our economy and breathing life out of it. Who has the solution to our economic problem? In my view, the only person who, at this point, is discussing and showing a demonstrable understanding of the problem and offering solutions is Jimmy Wanjigi. And when the time comes, the people of Kenya will have an opportunity to decide who is this that seems to have an understanding of the problem. And there'll be a debate amongst all the candidates. They'll all be asked. William Ruto will still be telling them, nitatenga, nitaleta. 10 billion mama mboga, 50 billion boda boda. I don't know what Kalonzo will be campaigning on. I don't know what Rigathi Gachagua, if he's a candidate, will be campaigning on. But Jimmy is very clear, I'll be campaigning on, I'm not paying this odious debt. Won't pay, can't pay, won't pay. Because him is saying, if 80% of your revenue, what you are paying the Kenyan government, is going to debt finance, then it's onerous upon you to open up the debt register. Look at the books. Is this debt legal? Who has the courage to say, I'll not pay this debt that is legal? I'll only pay the legal debt. If somebody took loans in the name of the people of Kenya and took the money to Qatar, why should the people of Kenya pay for it? Jimmy is very clear, I will not pay it. And once I don't pay it, then my appetite for tax also should go down. And let those people who lend money to Kenya government illegally go and bear the burden, not the Kenyan people. That is what we stand for. William Ruto is in office today. Why can't he do it? Why can't he say, I'm not paying? Why can't he open the debt register and tell Kenyans, these are the legal debts I've taken. These are the ones that Uhuru took. This is where the money went. As we'll say, where did this money go? Because our laws say, you only take a loan for a project. You've taken 5.4 trillion from the domestic market. 5.4 trillion, do you know what that means, man? 5.4 trillion, if you are investing it on infrastructure development. Do you know the road from Mombasa to Malaba to Kisumu? the road from Nairobi all the way to Eldoret, all the way to Malaba, it will be like Thika Road. And you still have a lot remaining.
Okay.
The road to Kisii, the road to Marsabit, there will be dual carriageways, highways.
Okay.
And we will still have a lot to use on the other roads.
Okay. And make me understand this, because at the end of the day, I wish you all the best. How are you going to align the economic problems that this country is actually facing with the political realities on the ground?
You know, there's always a first time for everything. The argument you're raising was the argument that was raised before the 25th of June. It was always said that only politicians could call Kenyans to the streets. It was also said that only Raila could declare holidays, private citizens who could declare holidays, and they happened. We saw numbers on the streets of Nairobi and in 37 other counties that had never been seen before, organically mobilized on their own, agitating for a solution to the economic pain. The trigger of that was a promise of new taxation in the finance bill. But it was because of the pain they were already going through, the economic pain. Those young people, amorphous, faceless, leaderless as they were, gave us almost 15 holidays here. In less than 3 months. We had almost 15 holidays. Raila used to give us 1 holiday in a year. So, don't analyze politics using the yesteryear's frames. They gave us 15. In less than 2 months, we got 15 holidays. We were not going to work. The city was in standstill.
So are you banking on some sort of...
I am simply telling you that the voter, I'm not banking on his up and chance. I'm just telling you that in terms of analyzing this voter, these Kenyans today, don't use the old lenses. Because they already did away with the old on the 25th of June. They gave birth to a new. And that new is where the Kenyan people are saying it should be about us. Our governance, our leadership should be about us, not about you. They've taken power into their hands. That is why when you saw them trying to go and do the public participation on Gachagua, the unanimous verdict of the people was Kufa Dereva, Kufa Makanga, Kufa Kamagera. Let all of them go. That's the new Kenya you're dealing with. This last weekend, you know, you witnessed even many MPs being chased out of public forums. So it tells you that people have changed. People are more woke. People are aware. And they are more critical. And they want to participate in their governance. So don't think, and in my view, I am convinced, you are not going to hoodwink Kenyans with sound bites. Tialala, TB, Hustler, Dynasty, Buyer. No. I'll give you 10 billion. Kenyans will question you. And these Kenyans that you see here on the streets, these people are highly intelligent. Highly intelligent. And you cannot lie to them. You will tell them what your economic policy is. They will interrogate it and ask questions, and they'll poke.
So you're saying that for the first time this time around, we are going to focus on the economy as a question of the elections?
It is going to be the economy, and that economy is economy across all tribes. That's why they said we are tribeless and we are leaderless.
Now, this is happening at a time when we've got a lot of headwinds here and a lot of confusion regarding how we even conduct our investments and all that as a country. Here we have, of course, we've had the Adani Group issues here with us as a country. Of course, that is a kind of a PPP kind of project that we're witnessing here. I had Raila Odinga speak, and he actually brought in his support for the Adani, but then he said that this company has done projects elsewhere. The only thing that we need to do is that we've got the right framework that could actually protect the interests of the country as such. At the same time, he says here that, look, the country is against too much borrowing. It's also against overtaxation. Then the option that we would have here is that these public-private partnerships would actually help us. What's the view of Safina Party in terms of dealing with these, the PPPs? How are you people going to manage? And what is your view all about this Adani thing?
You know, one thing you must appreciate is this. If Adani has invested 65 billion or 70 billion on the energy sector, Adani is an Indian.
Yes.
He's a foreigner. When do you think Kenyans will ever own some of these enterprises? If you wanted to raise 70 billion, just go to the Nairobi Stock Exchange, float shares. Kenyans will buy and will own shares in Ketraco. and invest. We'll give them the capital. I mean, the same Kenyan people whose deposits in banks, government has borrowed 5.7 trillion illegally. You want to tell me cannot raise 70 billion? The issue that we have with Adani and all these things they're trying to do is why is one company being forced to own all our crown jewels? There are better models that can be used to raise money. I've given you an example. Just go to the Nairobi Stock Exchange. Let Ketraco float shares. Kenyans will buy. In fact, it will be oversubscribed. Then, when the project is working, I'll be sitting there as an investor receiving dividends end of the year. You know, when you see a regime hell-bent on pushing only one entity to own everything, it means there's somebody in that regime who is behind that entity. Because if it's a question of providing the service, it's just a matter of raising the capital. We have our NEC. We can go to NEC and float shares. Kenyans will buy, locally and in the diaspora. You'll have the money and build that infrastructure you're talking about. Okay? Kengen was almost moribund until when Kibaki came in and they did a very successful rights issue. Kenyans bought shares in Kengen. For the longest time, Kengen has been running super profits here. Why can't we use the same model? Otherwise, when will Kenyans ever own these things? Yeah. If you ever want to build your people, give them opportunities to own. I may not raise 70 billion myself, but if we are another 500,000 Kenyans, or 200,000 Kenyans, or 100,000, we can raise 70 billion in the NSC, and we become part owners of the entity. And in 30 years, our great-grandchildren will be drawing dividends. It is owned locally. That is what, as we say, we believe in. Okay. When we talk about empowering private sector, the individual, that is what we mean. We don't mean go and look for an Indian in India. You try and go and buy a power plant in India today. You are Kenyan, let's go to India and try. You can't be given even be given a fraction of soil to own. Why do we hate our people so much? We can use alternative models of raising funds that will benefit the people. Since Ruto became president, tell me which major rights issue has come out of the NSC. When Kibaki was president, Kenyans were buying shares here like hotcake. If it was not Kenyan, it was Safaricom. If it was not Safaricom, people were running to the NSC. Okay. The NSC, the stock exchange of a country, is meant to be the point of convergence of private sector, individuals, you and I. We converge at the stock exchange to put our money to spur economic growth. Now, if you ignore the NSC, you are going for Indian pirates. When will your people ever own these things? You want to tell us to wait for another 30 years?
So what do you really think is happening here?
Of course, somebody is stealing from us. Adani is a black man with an Indian name. That's what is happening. As we cannot support such kind of a model. Do a model that even these young people with 5,000, 10,000, they can buy shares.
What do you think would be the difference in how the government has handled the Adani deals here when you compare that to the SGR deals that are
these are all deals that are, they are, in fact, it's good you call them deals. They are deals. They are not investments. They are deals. Even SGR, what was SGR? If you look at SGR in its totality, the Kenyan people paid 670 billion to build SGR. Took a loan of 450 billion. A project which on the paper was supposed to be worth 450 billion, you ended up incurring 1.2 trillion. Okay. Why? We had the money to build it ourselves, our own tax money. And we are still maintaining, we are paying China Road for operation cost. Yeah? We are subsidizing it. Why? Yeah? We need to think about ways in which we can empower our people. That is the difference between Safina and these people. Safina, as led by Jimmy, Willie, we are very clear. If an opportunity comes in, it should not be people, some few people here at the top to own these crown jewels. If an opportunity comes in, go to the Nairobi Stock Exchange, invite Kenyans to bring money. Government will just facilitate the process, but it will be Kenyans owning it. And Kenyans will elect their directors. They'll run the entity. That is how you create a country, man. You cannot create a country by bringing foreigners. Those foreigners are coming here, this is a capital flight. They are coming here to invest and they'll take the money out of the country. you mop up all the money to your economy to take to foreign jurisdictions. Why? That money should be here at the Nairobi Stock Exchange. It is spent locally. When dividends are paid, the money goes to Kenyans. They spend in this economy, government collects tax. Our thinking on the economy is very different. Because our model of economic development in this country is about the individual. We are not even saying we will give you, no. We will facilitate, we will create an environment for you to make money. Because we want to see little kings across the country.
And you believe that environment is not created currently?
But if they are bringing Adani, Stock Exchange, NSC is here at Nation Center, Kimathi Street. Adani is huko Mumbai, sijui how many, 5,000 kilometers away. They could just come from Treasury, 3 streets away there in Kimathi Street, do a rights issue, Kenyans to buy. Why couldn't they do that? Or raise an Adani energy bond. CBK can issue an energy bond, invite Kenyans to buy using treasury bills and bonds. Raise an energy bond that you want 100 billion. Kenyans will buy.
Okay.
And you tell them we are giving dividends in 3 years' time. These are 3-year bond, long term. In 3 years' bond time, we are going to give you back your money and start earning dividends. I mean, there are many alternatives of funding.
Okay. Now,
and going to the foreigner is not the best. Because going to the foreigner, you are perpetuating colonialism. You've just changed our colonialist from Mzungu to an Indian. We will not be colonized by an Indian. You to make a
Going back to the political realignments that we were talking about here, of course, Jimmy Wanjigi has been here as the face of economic revolution in this country. At least that is what he believes in. But then looking at it this way, of course, I do expect the current president, I don't know whether he'll run again, but then we expect him to defend his seat. We do not know the fate of some of the major players, such as the current embattled deputy president, Rigathi Gachagua. Of course, that also depends on the outcome of his impeachment trial therein. But then we also have Kalonzo Musyoka all the way from the eastern part of the country, at least for now. But I also heard you mention Raila Odinga back then. I wonder of what significance Raila would be in terms of the 2027 elections. When you look at all this arithmetic, what makes you stand out? What makes you believe that indeed, when I look at the political happenings in the country and the kind of arrangements that we've had before, and perhaps into the future, then we can easily make it?
We are not saying we can easily make it. We are simply saying the time for economic revolution is here.
Okay.
And Kenyans will need to elect someone who can conclude the economic revolution. If anybody thinks that they can get the economic revolution from William Ruto, he is there. Continue with him, no problem. If somebody thinks that Kalonzo has a solution to the economic malaise we are in, he's there. You can vote for him. But what I'm telling you, me, I interact with so many Kenyans who are saying, we will not be sold to lies anymore. Tell us what you will do that will change our economic condition. I've given you an example, aura for aura. Ruto's approach on Adani and Ketraco. What will have been our approach? Our approach will have been, instead of giving Adani Ketraco for 30 years, I'd rather give Kenyans Ketraco for 30 years. Because I know the money will always be here. And I know the Kenyan will benefit. If you did a rights issue, that you want to raise this money for Ketraco, or you did a bonds issue, treasury bills or bonds, tell Kenyans to buy long-term bonds, 5 years. Invest the money in Ketraco. You'll raise that money. Okay. The difference is this. For their model, the Indian will be rich. For our model, the Kenyan will be rich. Because it's the Kenyan who will be owning this entity. And those Kenyans, when they are paid dividends, they'll spend it in this economy. Okay. When they sell their shares, because they saw the trading in shares, the economy of Kenya will benefit. For them, the economy of India will benefit. So, I mean, if you're okay with Indians taking over everything, the competition is there. You can go to them. But if you want the Kenyan to be the one to benefit, we've given you the model. And I believe any reasonable person will not refuse an opportunity that even if you invested 5,000 as your contribution, I'm sure we can give you dividends even if it's 300 Kenya shillings. On your stock. And you can even sell those shares. When the shares go up, you can sell them and make more money. You are not going to, Kenyans are not going to raise individually all that money that is required, for example, to buy or to invest in Ketraco. Individually, you cannot. Few Kenyans have the kind of money. But collectively, we have far much more that you can raise and run that Ketraco and earn dividends. So the nation grows and the people grow. In this particular instance, Ketraco you think will grow, but the money will be taken out of this economy.
Okay.
Kenyans will become slaves. Are you telling me there is no better way of improving our energy sector apart from bringing Adani? I'm giving you a model. Float the shares. Let Kenyans buy. Do even a bond, energy bond. Let Kenyans buy. And we own it. That is the kind of thinking that I'm talking about. But if Kenyans are okay with William Ruto's model, he's there. They can continue. But at least the ones I talked to, in terms of my circulation, they have rejected that model. They want this model that empowers the person. That is why they went to the streets. They went to the streets because they had no money in their pockets.
How important are these questions, especially when you relate them to the previous elections, in terms of determining who occupies the house on the hill?
You know, every election has a question. There's always a question of every election. In 2002, the question was rejection of Moi. Moi must go. In 2007 was 41 against 1. Kalonzo left, it became 40 minus 2 minus 2. That's why it did, but that was the question. In 2013, it was digital analog. Mzungus as the colonizer. They're trying to impose a candidate on us. In 2017, it was Uhuru's corruption. Uhuru and Ruto have messed up this country, they have stolen everything. That was the vote. 10 million Kenyans standing against the corrupt regime of Uhuru. In 2022, it was dynasty, Hustler. That was the question. We've now defined the question of the next election to be about the economy. And when it's about the economy, remember, it is the people taking power in their hands. That is an election where the turnout will be higher than you've ever seen in this country. Because this is now in everybody's individual pocket, what they're feeling. And I can tell you, over 90% of Kenyans are feeling a pinch in their pockets.
Okay.
And this transcends tribe. Don't even think that William Ruto is going to sell to the people of Rift Valley, at Mutuetu. They are the ones who are going to throw stones at William Ruto even before anybody else. He'll be rejected at his own backyard. Kenyans are no longer about tribe because they realize there is no special shop for Kalenjins and another shop for the rest of Kenyans. No, they shop in the same shops. They live in the same economy. They spend in the same economy. The pain that a Luo is feeling is the same pain that a Kalenjin is feeling. The same pain that a Giriama is feeling. So Kenyans are saying, you must now talk to us at our individual level, not communal, not as a community. Don't tell us about Mtuetu. Mtuetu, and yet you are growing fat and us we are growing poorer, thin and losing lives. Look at Shifsha. How many people are being affected?
So many.
It's not like in Rift Valley, the hospitals are working at optimum best. No. Many people in Kalenjin land are suffering. I don't think they're stupid that they will say, now because you're one of us, we can as well just die for you to continue being in office. They will say no. We are also going to choose somebody who is responsive, someone who understands our pain, someone who has a solution to our problems. Okay. And William Ruto is not that person. William Ruto has been cancelled. The people of Kenya are done with him. He's cancelled.
Well, Wakili, they are saying that the people of Kenya are done with the current President, William Ruto. But ladies and gentlemen, of course, thank you for tuning in and thank you for being part of this one. But I would like you to weigh in and tell us down there in the comment section what you think about, of course, the next coming elections. Do you think that we are at that point as a country where we can now base our politics on issues, real issues that are actually affecting us here? Wakili here says that this time round the issue here is the economy. Do you think that is still the case, that we will vote based on that, or we still get back to our ethnic alignments as we've done in the past? Well, stay tuned. We're here and we'll keep you updated with comprehensive analysis of all that is taking place in the country and across the borders. Till we have this conversation again, have yourself a lovely day. Thank you for watching. My name is Evans Okinyi.